Hello. The cards are so cold to the touch. Today here in Argentina is Father's Day. So yeah, this live stream, I will try to keep it short because I do have to prepare, well, I always prepare lunch. Not always, my dad always does it, but today I'm going to prepare a specific meal that he likes for Father's Day. Yeah. I don't know if all in other parts of the world, if you do celebrate it today. I think, I don't think so, but because for us, Mother's Day is on October, and I know people celebrate in other parts of the world in May. I don't know about Father's Day. So for me, it's like a huge event. This past 3 years, being able to actually spend it with him, not having to work. For me, I remember I used to be always working on Father's Day. Um, so yeah, I would spend a little bit of time with him and then I would go. So for me, these past 3 years has been like more enjoyable, even though, we live almost in the same place, but I think that is important. Well, in my case, at least, because my dad is 80 years old, and I know that there's people that they don't have like the I would say the privilege or the luck to have their dad that they love. And so for me, it's like, I want to make the most of it, even though, we see each other almost every day, but, his family. So for me, he is my family. So yeah, I do celebrate it, and I do appreciate to having a dad, because for me, for example, Mother's Day is really sad usually, because I don't have my mom with me. um, but at least on Father's Day I can celebrate. Father's Day is today, over there. Okay, okay. How is the weather over there, guys? Here it's freezing. It's very cold in the mornings. Then during the day it gets a bit warmer, but it's very cold. The other day that I did the live stream for BTS, I forgot to bring the heater. I didn't have it with me. Like I got it already, but I didn't bring it with me here. So thank God I didn't notice, because I was so busy like doing the readings, and I think that I ended it, on time. It was almost 2 hours, I believe it was 2 hours, but I was so busy or concentrated on the readings that I didn't notice. Then when I stopped reading, when I put the cards away, I began to feel the cold. I was like, oh man, it's cold here. It's cold in here. Um, but yeah, I I I was very forgetful that day. It's warm. It's warm, so yeah. Yeah, you guys are on the opposite of what we are going through, yes. But I don't envy you guys. Like for me, summer, I get so annoyed by the heat, and I just feel so uncomfortable, and my blood pressure gets very weird. I get dizzy, so. And now that I'm getting older, I guess it's going to get worse. So yeah. Where are you from? Draculaura. Also, there's something I notice about, when I do upload on TikTok, people are so lazy on TikTok. And like, I mean, I don't expect everyone to understand, but everyone is like, oh, can you put translations on this specific language, and then on this language and the other language? I don't know how to do it. I tried, but I don't see how to do it. I try to modify it, I try to change it, but it doesn't give me the option. At least not, not my app. Um, but I think that I'm like, guys, I'm I speak in Spanish. I'm doing the readings in English, because I'm like, I want to get like to a wider, audience, so somehow we can reach to a lot of people. And I know I have people that, language is not their first their mother tongue, so if we can all put the effort to learn another language, to communicate, I'm like, why? Oh my. I don't expect you guys to understand like Korean, for example, like Korean or Japanese, that you do have you do not have like the Latin letters, I would say. Um, you have those symbols that are so complex. At least for my perspective, they must be really complex to learn or not. You just have to study more. But oh my, people are so lazy on TikTok. They're so lazy. For everything they ask translation and context. So it's like, no, guys, no. Yeah, I know it has that feature. I mean, I think I have it. Like I have it like it that it can translate. But then there's an option where I think that you can select maybe it gives you like the languages that you don't want it or you don't need it to translate in that. But that I don't touch. That part I don't touch. Um, but about, selecting the languages, for example, if I choose English or if I choose Spanish, translation to Spanish, then, once I click on on that language, it doesn't give me the option to, multiply different languages. Like, it has to be one. At least that's the feature that I see for me. I think that maybe there's something in my app that I did Google it, and I think that there's people that I don't know, maybe I do have like a version that doesn't have that possibility because I cannot find it. So yes, guys, for today is going to be a mix of different subjects that, people have mentioned to me. Because honestly, in the community post, there was only one person. Then, at the end, I think that one or two sort of added more topics of conversation or to read about. Um, but, I also did collect from people that I have been having conversations from multi fandoms, that they told me, oh, this is going on. Can you read for these people? So yeah, mostly it's going to be, not that deep of questions. It's more about, things that are happening to certain groups or idols, and people just want to know what's up, and that's it. Because I don't have much for Q&A. um, I have the group. I have Gravity, the group Gravity. I always call them Gravity, but yeah, um, people want to know about them. Gravity. Then I'm going to read for Jungkook's invasion of his privacy and home, or almost invasion, because I think that the crazy person didn't get in. But this is giving me deja vu. We already seen this. But yeah, let's see, if there's going to be a change in his security, because I don't know. I think that there has to be a cleansing in the staff of Hive or whatever that manages the security of these guys, because I'm like tired of the how they don't manage things well. Okay. Then I'm going to read for the Boyz controversy that I have no idea. I think someone mentioned Jujeon, Hyunjae, and I know there's other members. So if someone knows other members that are involved in this, I don't know. I'm going to pull the cards to see what comes up. Maybe I can read for I know I have the names. I have Joojeon, Hyunjae, and possibly Sonu. Or Sonu is from the last time. Yeah, I'm confused. But I think from what people told me is that those controversies were about almost all the members, not all the members, but there were a lot of members being mentioned. So then I'm going to read for Hyuna. For Hyuna, someone requested a reading for Hyuna, her relationship with her husband, how is she doing, and the relationship for her and the former members of 4 Minute. And we're choosing time still because she's a Gemini. So yeah, I know she's not everyone's favorite, but someone is asking for her, so I'm going to read. Then I'm going to read for Jimin and Tae's friendship after the military. Then there's a question, someone asked a question about award shows, if they are real or genuine. I think that when they mean real or genuine, maybe it can be like the delivery of awards and those things. So let's see what the tarot has to say about this. Unless I'm going to read for Jennie's current energy, someone is asking. And I did check, it's been a while since I read for Jennie's current energy. I know I read for Jennie and others, or people are wondering about her and her friendship with other idols or celebrities, but about her energy individually, I haven't read for a while. I did check. I think that the last time was on Capricorn season. Capricorn, or I do have, I believe, a 2025 reading for her, and the other girls. So yeah. I'm just trying to add topics, guys, because if it was a bit empty. So, I'm trying to add different topics because I want to, my time is also, it's also valuable. So, I'm trying to be productive here. So yeah, I choose from what I can have. If you have better ideas, please submit it in the community post when the time comes. And also I also have a Discord channel, so if you want to add them in there, you are very welcome, and I appreciate that you do. Some stuff must be involved because there's no way. Yeah, it's been a stupidity after stupidity. So I'm like, like, are these really taking care of you, or are they your enemies? Like, especially because we're talking about BTS and the magnet of BTS. That is very important. So I'm like, I think that this is why, when I read for the group and I got this that 5 of Pentacles, and I got, I was like, what is going on? If you didn't watch, my BTS live stream, go and watch it. I did read for the guys individually and then the group. For me, there's like a lack of something. I was like, maybe there's money missing. There could be other things. But I think that also there's maybe lack of security and lack of organization. Like, what are these people doing? Like, the people that are working for BTS, like, what are they doing? This is why at the end we got the King of Pentacles, and the keyword was disciplined. Someone needs to bring discipline, because they get paid a lot of money, and there's a lot of people working, and they could hire more if they wanted to. So what is going on that is not good enough? That is not giving me professional enough. It's not giving me like, okay, you have like, you really are good at your job, you have the qualifications, you have the intelligence, you have the time. I don't see it. So I'm like, who is in the building or around the guys? I'm not saying like all of them, but there's a lack in professionalism. And I think that this can damage BTS at some point. So, I hope that the King of Pentacles that came at the end, that I was like, okay, this is Namjoon probably, you know, um, Namjoon is going to be pretty busy with, I believe, with those matters because my God, that is like a circus in there. It's like a circus. Mm, mm. It's like, come on, we have been waiting for the guys to come back finally, and they come back to this instability. Yeah, guys. Also, I heard something about 17. Someone, a 17 fan told me about there was, they were late for a shipping. I don't know what happened with 17 sales. Something happened. They were upset also. Okay, I'm going to start with the group Gravity. I believe it's been a while since I read for them. I don't remember, but yeah, let's see. Gravity. Hmm. Yeah, it's okay, but definitely their past situations have been a bit like, I would say, messy or a bit like unstable. They also have a lot of worries, even though they are going to do okay, because I do have the Four of Pentacles in the middle. So I'm like, they are celebrating something, or are they having a comeback at this moment or very near? Because I see them very, excited. But, surrounding this excitement, there's also there's like this feeling of them not first that they don't feel recognized enough, that they're still in the page energy, that they feel like they have to work harder than others because it's not easy for them to maybe get a win or get, maybe, more recognition or getting more fans. I don't know what is it, but it feels like they are very worried about that. But yeah, the overall cards, it feels like there's this, like, I don't trust our potential, and there's moments where I think that we made the wrong decisions. So yeah, and also I don't see like responsibles. I don't see a company here. I don't see like a CEO. I don't see a teacher. I don't see a mentor. I don't see a manager. I see them. So probably they are on their own as well. Lack of support, I would say. Okay, for Gravity, we start with the Ten of Swords, the Two of Pentacles. We have the Four of Wands in the middle, the Four of Swords, and we have the Page of Pentacles. And then, this card that sort of sums up the reading, we have the Five of Cups that it says, change your focus. So honestly, I think that they also need time to heal something. It's just that for them to take a break is not productive. It's not good for their career. I think that they are like, but I could see someone being on a hiatus, or a few people being in hiatus, because they need to review certain things. I mean, we start with the Ten of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. So there's this something happened in the past that they probably were, you know, in a worse place, I would say. They were not doing very well. There were a lot of worries, or there was a lot of maybe, I don't know if what, what was there is some kind of a scandal, or was there a kind of argument or a conflict that they had. But the Ten of Swords is like they tried to overcome this. With the Two of Pentacles, there's this flexibility to maybe put this problem to a side and be like, okay, we had enough of this negativity or these very dark moments. Like, let's function like artists. We have work to do. But I think that things weren't like solved properly for them. There's something in the background. This is why I have the Five of Cups, because there's something about them maybe keep advancing with their activities, but um, on the background, behind all the glamour and all the happy songs and all the happy performances, and maybe this energy that they bring as professionals, there's some issues that they are sort of tiptoeing around those issues, and trying to forget, because we have to go here and present here. So it's like you are like dancing around the issues that you have. You are not facing them. So, and probably this has been for a while. So I wonder how gravity dynamic is doing these days. Like, there's something, just like there's a sense of like betrayal, like, oh, you betrayed me, or you did this to me. um so it feels very tense. But there's something about them being like, we cannot waste time with these issues. We have to go back to work, and we have to give this positive image, or we have work to do. And we have the four wands. So probably if they have a comeback, it's going to be, very positive, and probably, yeah, because over there is summer. So, maybe, there's, I do get, especially now during summer, that a lot of the groups are bringing this Four of Wands energy, like finally coming out to the sun, I would say, maybe to dance and perform at festivals, or, just enjoying themselves, just being much more cheerful. Maybe also the songs like invites people to get together and dance as well and celebrate. So it feels like the concept is the right for the summer. It's very nice. It's very nice. It's very contagious. There's something about, maybe the song's really good, or they do it very well. But then, we have the Four of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. So I'm like, who is going to hiatus? um there's a hiatus for someone, and this person has to review their option, their lives. I don't know. um how many members are in Gravity? Yeah, and with the Five of Cups, change your focus. I think that they also have this, they are going to be probably in 2025 with this feeling also of, I don't have enough, or what we have is not enough. There's this lack of confidence, and there's this lack of, like, yeah, we are so happy and vibrant and optimistic on stage, but when it comes to them as individuals, or maybe as a group, they feel a bit let down. They feel a bit, like they don't have the tools. Like, no one taught them how to overcome certain things. And I think that these things are emotional. I don't see many like cups in here, but I do see it in here with the Five of Cups. So it's giving me like this mourning process, these very sad moments of like, I regret so much what happened. So I think that probably if one of them is on hiatus or one of them is going to be on hiatus, is to reflect on this. And also the group is going to reflect on this. Probably if they continue working, they will have to, work without this person or without another one, because I don't know why it's giving me that it's more than one. I don't think that is the whole group going to hiatus. I think that is one or two. But change your focus, is like probably the guys that remain, they are going to try to make, the best of this and not get all sad and just try to see the possibilities, like, okay, is this like three of us? Okay, we will make it. How many members are we? Okay, we will make it. This is why the card is like, change your focus. Instead of getting more sad and more depressed and more like worried. And I think that it's not worries, it's more like I'm sorry. Something like I'm sorry. There's someone saying I'm sorry so much. I don't know who it is, but it's giving me like I'm so sorry this happened. But there's something also about like, okay, like probably, what is done is done. The only thing that you can do is change your focus. Okay, what can you do better now? What change can you bring? What positive change can you bring? What can you do for the group? So, but this is the thing, that I noticed, and I said this for the group. For me, the guys, the group, I don't know how old they are, or I don't think that it's like, oh, they are so young, um, like very young. But there's something about them not having. It's not about training. It's more like they don't have someone that guides them. They don't have someone to talk to, someone that is like, the voice of reason, someone that is like a teacher, a father, a godfather, I don't know, like a grandpa, someone wiser that can come and sort of being like, guys, do we have problems? Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, but let's not destroy each other. So I think that in here they are trying to sustain, this productivity, with the Four of Wands. Probably there's this need to, go back to work and just, make the most of this summer and these times. But, there's something that is in the background that is not, it's not going to be that easy for them to walk away from this that they are trying to avoid. This happened and people knows this. So it's like you cannot act a fool. Like, oh yeah, no, that didn't happen. Yeah, it did. So I see them very, very lonely, like not having, the tools, the right advice. So I feel very sad for them. I don't know these guys, but I feel very sad for them. Oh my. The dog today, it's so... Okay. I'm going to continue with Jungkook's invasion of his privacy and almost someone entering his house. So yeah, let's see about this. Let's see about this issue. He's really fed up of these people. Really fed up of these people. He's fed up of everyone, actually. For Jungkook's invasion of his privacy, his home. I know this person didn't get in, but nevertheless they tried. So it's serious. We start with the King of Cups. We have the Ten of Swords. We have the Five of Wands. We have the Two of Swords, and then we have the Four of Cups. That it says opportunity beckons. I think that this is because I have, JK's. Hey, Agustin, I have JK's as first card in here. He represents him, this King of Cups. So it's not so much about the person, but I think that this had happened a lot of times. Remember, I think that I read about something similar before he enlisted, or yeah, a few months before he enlisted, that there were people sending him food. Seeing him next to this Ten of Swords is giving me that this is not the first time, that this has been happening forever. Like, that when I read this a couple of years ago, not a year and a half, I don't remember exactly, I said that these people weren't going to stop because they got the Knight of Wands. So there was this feeling of like, I'm going to keep insisting because I love you, and I'm going to keep insisting because I'm that obsessed and I'm that intense and I'm that, forceful. There's something about these people being so impulsive that they don't think. They are not like, oh, maybe this that I'm doing is a bit much. No, they don't think, they act. They act. Because they are so, it's not that they love JK. They are lustful for JK. They want him sexually. There's something, the Knight of Wands, it was like this, like, warrior, this person that is so much in lust that you are blinded by your desires and you don't take a no for an answer. So these people are dangerous. And they have the means to keep advancing. But let's go back to the now. Yeah, because I have the ten of swords, I have the Five of Wands, and I have the Two of Swords. So there's something about this. He has been dealing with this for a very long time, and probably he's going to continue to be dealing with this. This is not going to change because there's not like proper action in here. There's just contemplation. There's just contemplation. Even from his side, he's very annoyed, he's very tired, he doesn't want to think, he doesn't want to, he's trying to not think or review the situation because, it gets too much, but the Five of Wands is also giving me that maybe that he's a bit fed up. He's also a bit, angry, a bit annoyed. He's also starting to maybe think, with the Two of Swords, he's probably starting to think or analyze among this. He had an argument with someone. He had like a fallout. He had an argument with someone that maybe this person is part of a very influential group. He had an argument with someone, and he's starting to think with the last, with the Two of Swords as the last card. He's starting to think and analyze that if these things don't come from these people or keep happening because of this rivalry or this argument or this, disagreement that he had in the past. So did he call out a part of the fandom, or did he angry a part of the fandom that, I don't want to call them fans because, we know that this is not fans, but they consider themselves fans. So, I think that he got them angry because something happened. And this is why these people keep like, like the ones, they keep like, It's like he tries to stop them, or everyone tries to stop them, and they keep pushing it. They keep pushing it. They are very aggressive. They are very irrational. They just go and do it. They don't care. They don't care if they get caught. They don't care. And they're very aggressive also. Um, they don't have like like the regulation, or the self-aware to to be like, oh, maybe this that I'm doing is a bit much. No, they don't. They just do. They just go and do. um and I think that is more than one person. This is a group of people. So and he's starting to evaluate where, like, he's like, he's starting to see a pattern. It's like he knows who these people are. He knows. He knows. He knows, but the Two of Swords, there's nothing he can do except try to avoid it, or maybe escape, or maybe, you know, like I said when I read, for go back and go back, if you haven't, go back and watch the reading that I did for him in the BTS live stream. The High Priestess. The High Priestess, what does the High Priestess like invite us to do? Silence. If you want to catch these people, or if you want to, somehow not give them the possibility to keep doing this, you have to, it's not about him disappearing, but I think that and this is why the High Priestess is like, you need to talk less and listen more, because he has been sharing information with someone, or he has been telling people, like, not intentionally, but maybe he has had, there's someone that spills, someone around him that spills the information. And this is not just stuff. This could be also a group of friends, so it's like he had a difference with someone, or he got some people pissed off. Some people are pissed at him, or had been, angry at him for something that happened before he enlisted. So could it be him dating? Could it be him going out with friends and drinking? Could it be him being his, like acting like a man of his age? Yes, probably is that, because something that these vampires, energetic vampires, want to take away from JK is his ability to shine and be attractive and find love. These are the type of people that then they come into the comment section and they're like, oh, can you read for JK's love life? You don't want to know about his love life. You don't want to know if he can be happy. You just want me to tell you, no, he's single. He's married to his fans. He doesn't date. He's alone in his house waiting for you. So, but I think that also, the Two of Swords is like, he cannot do anything except being angry. He cannot do anything. He just has to stay, like I said, like the High Priestess, just. And also it's like, don't share information about you. Don't talk about certain things, keep them to yourself and listen. He's going to find out who it is. If he, embraces the energy of the High Priestess, that is like someone that is like more like, more like silence, more like introvert, more like, it's like, he's really good at that. He's really good at that. But maybe, I think that he's starting to evaluate who it is and where it comes from, because this is bigger than these people. There's something here. There's a conflict. There's a conflict. A conflict of interest, people not wanting JK to be free, or threatening him, and just like, wanting to leave him without options. They want to corner JK. They want to corner him. They want to make him feel anxious. They want to, like, have him to give up all his hobbies, his friends, his ability to enjoy. This is what I said. This is what I said a couple of months in a year ago, a year and a half ago. He got the empress in there. They want to spoil his happiness. They don't want JK to be happy. They want JK to be just like a very hardworking person that just doesn't enjoy life except when you put him on a stage and he can perform for you. So yeah, it's very selfish, but it's their view. It's like they're like, I pay for this. So yeah, you give me what I want. But for someone like him, that is very sensitive, that is very forgiving, that is very generous. He's coming to a point where he's like, this is like enough. And this also I said about him at some point, about his nature, about what he communicates. He has to become much more assertive when he delivers certain messages, especially to the fans. Because I think that sometimes, because he's so sweet, and he's so considerate, or he's just a very loving person, very generous, just like he feels responsible, for people's emotionality. I don't know, he's like, I don't want to break their hearts, I don't want to hurt their feelings, but they are hurting your feelings. So they're ruining your mental health. So what is it going to be? Is them or you? So yeah, he also has to embrace that, there's a conflict in here, and he has to face it. Probably he will not face it, with the Two of Swords. It's like, I will stay in the middle and I will wait for this to pass. So they win at the end. Yeah, and the Four of Cups, opportunity reckons. The Four of Cups is also like, I don't like the meaning of this card, but the Four of Cups is like, he probably is going to be a bit bored, of the idol life again. He's going to feel a bit like unmotivated or emotionally a bit disconnected, because this is what they do. They drain your energy. They drain your ability to enjoy. They are the Four of Cups like this. It's like, even though I have people that tell me that they love me, I don't know if I want to accept it because I'm afraid. I feel so vulnerable, and at the same time I have lost my desire. I don't know if I want what I want emotionally. But yeah, I don't see something changing, honestly. Maybe I think that maybe in his mentality something can change, but actions, I don't see it. I don't see it. Hey, Chachalino. Okay, I'm going to continue with the Boyz controversies. Controversies. Let's see. I'm going to pull another. I'm like, why people are so like they are so in the time. I don't know if it's the time, the right era to sort of harass mentally and just mentally, with communication maybe, or with messages. But you guys, like, not you guys, but I think that the people that promote this kind of, the controversy, and people just being judgmental online and in person, I don't know, they just love to corner their idols. I see it with JK, I see it with these guys. There's this feeling of like, you don't let them breathe. You want to keep them tied up, like prisoners of what you say, of your approval. So I'm like, wow, like this job that they have is not good. It's not good for their mental health. Like you have to be a warrior to overcome this because the things that people say, oh. And I'm going to pull extra cards for Jujeon Hyunjae. I think that those are the ones that I seen mentioned. I think that there's more members, but I don't know. I think that I seen mostly Jujeon and Hyunjae and also Sanyeon, but Sanyeon is in the military, so I'm not going to pull for him. Hmm. Okay. Um. Okay. Mostly those two. Okay, for the boys, controversy, Eight of Swords. See, the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Swords. There's this feeling of you cannot escape. There's it's like they always corner their idols. They always like push them into a wall. It's tough in an idol, guys. It's tough. Um, Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. So, yeah, about this controversy, honestly, I think that they have to wait. I mean, it's going to be uncomfortable. Probably they're going to have, I don't see a hiatus, but they are going to be a bit limited maybe in appearances, or if they have some activities, or maybe if the group has some activities, there's this feeling of like, okay, you will not see all the members, or maybe if there's some activities for the boys, you're going to see a member or two that weren't mentioned. I don't know if there's someone left in the group that was not mentioned, but probably there's something about them, having patience, um, having to wait, till but they're working on this. I mean, in the sense that I think that there's something about them not wanting to be seen as victims. Did they apologize? Because with the Knight of Wands, there's something about them also at some point, defending themselves. I think that if they apologize, there's something about them, having also this very brave attitude of like, you will not stop me. You will not stop me. You will not stop my progress. I want to say process, but not process. Progress. You will not stop my progress. Yeah, I'm hot. Yeah, I'm young. Yeah, I'm adventurous. Yeah, I go out or I move, because I'm a young person and I have blood in my veins and I move. I'm not a doll. I'm a man. I'm a man of passions. I'm a man of desire. And this is what is keeping me alive. So I'm sorry to disappoint you that I'm a man. Um, so yeah, I think that are the boys having a comeback or a concert? Because I think that they will wait. They will be prudent. They will be also, um, like, yeah, very patient. That they don't like to wait, but it's like we have to get out of these limitations, because it has. I think that probably since the year started, it has been like attack after attack, especially online. So I think that there's something about their maturity also. They are very professional. This is why I'm like, yeah, if they apologize, yeah, they apologize because it's part of their job. But at the same time, I think that what you are seeing of the boys is more about them being the men. It's more about them being the men, literally. And I think that this is what people don't. They don't want to accept that the guys are in another stage in their lives, even not just as artists, but maybe as people. And they want to be let run wild. They want to explore options. They want to go out. They want to do things. Um, And I think that this is very valid. They want to be free because maybe for some of them, they will have to enlist soon. So there's something about them in like, I want to go out. Let me let me do what I want to do. I will be, maybe they are like, I will go to the military very soon, or no, I'm going to be enlisting, so I'm going to be limited in my actions as well. I'm going to be on a post, so let me do what I want to do while I can. Let me run wild, let me, it's not like they are asking people to give them permission, but it's like, I'm going to enjoy my life, think whatever. Um, and from Dujon, we have the card of justice, that the keyword is as detached. So poor Chucho. Why do I feel like Chucho feels like this feels like a martyr, because this is giving me like no, not like a saint, but it's giving me, like this image is giving me like someone um that is probably like asking for mercy even. He's very sorry, honestly, like not just sorry, he's just like asking for peace. This is why we have the pigeon in here. He's asking for peace, like can we please stop with the accusations? Can we please stop with the arguing? Can we please stop with the drama? You know, Let me detach from all of this. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to understand where you guys come from, your concerns, your worries, but it's too much. It's too much for him. He's like, I don't I don't know where these things come from. I have no idea. He's asking for mercy. He's like, he's giving me, I know this is like the justice card, but there's something about him being like, please, can we be okay? Can we be in harmony? And for Hyunjae, we have the Three of Pentacles. So he's like, maybe, asking advice. Reach out is the keyword. He's probably asking advice to not just to the group, but I think that he's asking maybe to another more experienced idols, or a mentor of his, or maybe a boss, or someone that he admires very much, and he's reaching out to these people that have more experience in the industry, or maybe people that have been doing this longer than him, and he's reaching out to them like, can you please help me? you know I need advice. I need I need uh, I need a community. I need to understand this, or I need to find a community that can help me understand what this circus is, because he's like, I'm going to work on myself, I'm going to be better, but he's like, I need someone's point of view or advice, because on my own I don't get it. On my own, I'm like, what is going on? So I better, go with the people that knows, or I ask help for professionals. I don't know, people that knows or went through this, and knows how to manage this. And he's like, okay, guys, I need your assistance. Can we please work on this? Can we please work on this? Because on my own, I don't get it. But also, the three of Pentacles is giving me like, yeah, associations, him being part of a group. Is like the guy has connections, he has friends, he knows people from the industry, he goes out, he's part of a group. So yeah, he's collaborating with people. You're going to see him with others. So what do you expect of him, Jai? To be, in a dungeon? He has places to go, people to visit, people to work with. Hmm. Please, guys, don't forget to leave a like if you can to the live stream. It will mean a lot to me. Yes, poor guys. Okay, I'm going to continue with Hyuna, a Pisces artist. Not Pisces, sorry. Does she have a Pisces stellium? Not a Gemini, sorry. A Gemini artist. Someone asked for her, to see how she's doing, her relationship with her husband and the former members. So yeah, let's see. Hyuna, her husband. Hyuna and her former members. These people and their former groups, they don't like each other. They don't like each other. At least the ones that I have been reading for, like the former members, and some of them are not in a good terms. Her energy. I think that emotionally or maybe mentally she's doing okay. I think that Hyuna is doing okay. We have the Three of Cups that it says share the love. So there's something about her, just wanting to keep, maybe reaching out to people and being with the friends that she has, or with the people that love her. I think that there's something about her, being like, I'm not going to hide, or I'm not going to go away, or I'm not going to become like a hermit, because actually she wants to share the love, or she wants to, share the love to the fans, to her community, to the people that love her. She's like, I want to extend my love and my, what I feel for my community, or for my friends, or for my fans. She feels very, like very courageous in this sense. Like she feels very open emotionally. She's like, I now more than ever, I reach out to my community, or I reach out to my group of friends, or I reach out to, she's not alone, she's not isolated. She doesn't want to be. So there's something about her being like, I'm going to go and share the love. I don't care. Then it's up to you if you receive it or not. But she's going to keep giving, she's going to keep being open to the people that love her and that want to receive her love, but she has love to share. About her relationship with her husband. Is he fed up of her already? She's very intense. She's very intense. He's like struggling here. She's very intense when it comes to her relationship with him. We have the Knight of Wands and the Devil for her relation, like how she sees her husband, or her connection with her husband. Is she trying to get pregnant? Is she trying to have a baby? Is she trying to have like a more active sexual life? But she's like so on fire. She's like pushing him, like, yeah, let's be more loving to me, give me more attention, let's go out, let's do this, let's, sexually expand our boundaries, make my fantasies come true. Very sexual. She's feeling very sexual. Probably I think that there's something about, maybe she wants to have like a child. She wants to get pregnant. So there's something about her hormones being a bit like high, being like, and she is like very, um, she is very on fire, I would say. She's like, I see that she's the one that chases chases him. She is the one that chases him the most. And in his case, I think that he's like a bit overwhelmed by her energy, or maybe he feels like she demands a lot of attention of him, and he's like, I don't know if I will be able to sustain this. Like he's like a bit like, oh wow, she is intense, or she's feeling intense. And he feels a bit like, I think that he lacks motivation. Honestly, there's something also about him. Maybe initially in their connection there was a lot of attraction, or there was a lot of like him probably playing the role of the passionate guy, or the role of someone that is so like passionate, or someone that is so so sexy. And she definitely is like, yeah, I got sold on this. So yeah, show me how passionate you are, or show me how sexy you are, and how you can seduce me, and what you can give me, and the satisfaction that you can give me. I want us to have a very exciting life together. And then I think that he's losing the stamina already. I think that probably also there's something about him not being that person, not being that active, not being that kind of person that is like, very I think that he doesn't have that much energy. I think that he probably has issues that maybe he gets depressed every once in a while. Not depressed, but he gets sad. It's giving me sad vibes. So probably he has like these mood swings, or actually once you get to know him, you realize that he's not like, oh, that sexy guy, or that passionate guy that maybe his image showed this, like, oh, I'm a tough guy, I'm a masculine guy, because they do get a lot of ones. So their attraction maybe is the one reason why they got together, their chemistry maybe. But there's something about him not being able to sustain this energy in comparison to her. So maybe this is why she's like the one that keeps pursuing him. And he feels a bit regretful. He's like, I don't feel like this. I don't feel like I'm strong enough. Like, and probably he's a bit sad. He probably lacks a bit of energy. She is the one that actually has the energy, or maybe she is more like a get a go-getter. She's much more active. She's the one that initiates, or when she wants something in life, she goes and acts on it. She pursues her passion, she pursues her dreams, she pursues him because she wants him, she loves him, and or she wants something out of him. So there's something about her being like intense and being like, I'm not letting you go. With the devil, it's like, I'm not letting you go. But he's feeling a bit like, oh, this is a lot. This is a lot for someone like him. Someone like him that probably he doesn't feel that confidence, or maybe he's not that person. He's not that passionate. Actually, it's just a persona that he built. It's just that, just like any kind of relationship, in privacy and in intimacy, you really see each other's colors. At first, when you're flirting, when you're trying to get the other person's attention, yeah, you are the best lover. But then with time, we see if you can sustain it or not, and if you have the passion for the person, or if you are, if you have the willpower, the energy enough to work on a relationship, not just sexually, more like, are you willing to put the effort of what being married or being in a committed relationship is about? Because it's a lot of work, a lot of work. Um, so yeah, and about her and her former members, from Hyuna, we have the Ten of Pentacles and we have the Four of Cups. So there's something about her, respecting a lot the members, respecting a lot the 4 minutes. Maybe they do have a very strong legacy, and they will always have it. So there's something about her, just not she doesn't have she doesn't have like a strong opinion about them. She's not like, oh, I miss them or I don't miss them. It's it's like something that she probably remembers, how important the group was for her, her foundation, maybe the group made the group, or the group's legacy made her who she is, or gave her the foundation, the base for her to become, or to have the place to develop as a soloist. But at the same time, I think that she is like, a bit not motivated to maybe reach out to the other members, or, maybe she doesn't have like, there's something about her sort of wanting to, it's like, I don't know if I would want to go back to the past, or, talk about the past, or revive the past, relive the past. It's like, yeah, I hear that people want this, or I had been offered, or people had been like, why don't you reunite? And I'm like, she's not close to the idea. She's not like, no, I will not do it, or I will not go there. But she's like, but why? If the group's identity sustain themselves, the tenor of Pentacles is like, could it be that the group is still, is getting earnings, or is getting paid for their music? Maybe could it be, because I think that the group is very like, the maybe the brand of the group or the songs are very powerful, without like, there's not like, oh, can you guys have a comeback? It's not necessary, because they, what they did in the past is good enough, and is going to keep coming back, and being celebrated. They don't need to bring new things, at least not from her part. And yeah, and about the girls, about Hyuna, we have the wall card, and we have the Five of Wands. So there's something about them, just like feeling, like there's conflicts. I don't know if it's about Hyuna, or if it's about Hyuna and another member. I think that they have issues. There's different, issues. There's different issues. It's not just like, it's not just Hyuna. It's not just Hyuna. There's something about them also. I think that it's mostly legal. Could it be? It's about rights, or it's about, property, or something like this? Because with the Walker, it's like, we wanted to close the chapter, but they are still in talks, or they are still, fighting certain things. So it's like, we still have issues pendant to, but there's like very strong personalities in there. So it's really hard to get them all, in one place. And they are, there's a lot of differences. It's like, we want to close the chapter, but you don't let us, or you don't appear and do your part. You are sort of, they feel like maybe she's like one of the members that is somehow making it difficult. Like they had to make a very important decision, or sign a paper, or agree on something, and she is playing dumb, because with the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Cups that Hyuna got is giving me like her head is on the clouds. She's like the one that is like, I don't know, let me review this. When I have time, I will call you and I will confirm to you, because I'm not sure if I will say yes, or I'm not sure if I will agree to this. So there's something about her inaction annoying the members. The members are like, come on, we need your response, because we want to get this over with. So yeah. Guys, I'm talking very loud because they are starting to play music very close to here, because next to my office in here, there's like a garden. There's like a park that belongs to my neighbors. And since it's Father's Day, they probably are going to reunite to have like a gathering with the family. So it's getting loud on this side, and the wall is not. The wall is made of concrete, so but I still can hear the music. I hope it doesn't interrupt me. But yeah, I'm going to try to hurry up and give you the readings. So then I'm going to go, because I also have to cook. Okay, let's go. Okay. And also people are starting to talk and they are getting louder and louder. So yeah, let's see. Let's see for Jimin and Taehyung, Taehyung and B relationship, friendship after, being discharged of the military. Let's see. Jimin, Taehyung. What is going on with these people? I think that there's a lot of like yeah, there's a lot of like harsh conversations. Like there's something about, I think that they are addressing it, but there's something that is like, my God, what is going on? At the end, we have the chariot. So they're going to move, they're going to advance. But, there's something about, from Jimin's perspective, we have the tower and we have the King of Cups. So there's something also about Jimin about Taehyung that he's like, I used to be like, this very motherly, this very loving and accepting friend, or maybe, being the more sentimental or the more like emotional out of the two of us, always been there for you, always listening to you, always been, like, accepting you and just like, like taking care of you or just trying not to hurt your feelings. But I think that something in me changed about our friendship. And, probably I'm starting to be much more egotistic and not being so generous with you. I think that something happened about Jimin's character, or maybe his view about this friendship, that he's like, it's not that he's not going to be nice to Taehyung, but there's something about him like being like, I will not be that emotionally available to you. Because I think that some things happen, some things broke, some things are not the same. There's something about the relationship changing. Maybe there's things about Taehyung's life or lifestyle that he doesn't approve, or that he's like, I don't want to participate in this that you're doing, but I wish you good luck. I love you still. But I think that there's something about Jimin maybe, I think that there's something about Jimmy maybe becoming stronger and putting certain boundaries to his friends. And when it comes to Taehyung, Taehyung is one of these people. So there's something about him being like, instead of always being like the loving, understanding, and like the one that gets it, the one that is the listener, the one that is like, no, poor baby, come here, tell me all your problems. He's like, I'm going to be tougher. Stop with the sugar coating. I'm not babying you anymore. If I see that you mess up, I'm going to tell you like it is. Like enough, enough of me being your mother. Basically, enough of me being your mother. Like mother, no more. Like we are friends. We are equals. So I demand respect. And I demand, that you see that I'm becoming stronger, or there's things that I'm starting to say no. There's things in our connection, in our relationship, that I'm becoming tougher and I'm becoming much more like close off even. Like, okay, to this, I will not participate in this. And if you ask me for an advice, maybe he did give Taehyung certain advices in the past, and maybe Taehyung didn't go with what he said, and he's like, I'm disappointed. So there's something about him being like, I cannot be the same friend that I used to be, or I cannot play this role of being this very generous and kind and understanding. He's like, no, because there's things about you that I don't understand. And I'm protecting my energy, and I'm protecting my love, and I'm protecting my feelings. Um, so yeah, and also I think that it sort of makes sense, because I can see from Tae's part, the Five of Swords and the King of Swords. He has said certain things to Jimin. I don't know the nature of this disagreement, but he has been very harsh towards Jimin. So this is why I think that Jimin is like, I'm listening, I get it, but you're somehow offending me. So, like drop the tone, drop the swords with me, because I'm going to get very angry myself. I have the potential of being angry as well. So, I used to be very nice, but don't get on my bedside, because I also have a lot of things to say, or I have a lot of emotions to unleash. But definitely there's a lot of from Tae's perspective, there's something about him, having a different mindset, maybe from Jimin, or maybe he's like, I see Tae being much more maybe in an era where he feels stronger, or he feels like more secure in himself, and he's like, from now on, I'm going to do things like this, and I'm going to express myself like this, like the king of swords that I am, because I have the truth, or my truth is the truth. So there's something about him coming here with this very harsh and blunt energy, stating certain facts, or maybe, saying certain things, maybe things that he considers that Jimmy needs to hear, or there's certain truths from his part that he's like, I need to tell you this. I need to tell you that, I don't agree on this that you did, or I didn't like what you did, or I think that this that you're doing is not good. So, but he does it from a place of authority. So I think that from Jimin being this queen of swords, it can feel like an attack. Literally, it can feel like, you're offending me. Like, what are you doing? Like, but I think that probably maybe it has to do with Tae's mentality, maybe after the military. His mentality has changed. He has become more like manly, more like serious, more like he's very he's very sharp with what he says, the delivery of the words. He's it's all like, it seems like he's like in a battle. It's like when he answers, when he talks to you with the tone of authority, as if he was a military man, as if he was in the military. So there's something that maybe he brings that way of communication to his friendship with Taemin and Taemin. I said Taemin, sorry, with Jimin. Um, that I think that for Jimin is like, we are not in the same energy. I'm being understanding and loving, and I'm opening up here, and you're just here like throwing darts at my heart. What is going on? But I think that probably it has to do that maybe Taehyung is surrounded. He has been surrounded by people with a lot of authority, with a lot of strength and dominion in their voices. So there's something about him coming with this mentality of like, what I say is true. My words are the truth. My words are the law. I make the laws. So probably, when it comes to a friendship, he has to be much more humble to meet Jimin. But there's something about him being a bit too fast with the comments, or too sharp with certain words. It's like, I think that you're going to hurt certain people, because not everyone. I think that probably he's surrounded by people that maybe think like him, or his friends, they think like him. So they are like, yeah, you tell me like it is, okay, whatever, yeah, say it to my face, I'm not offended. But in the case of Jimin is like, what? Like, I have been so good to you, or I have been so generous to you. Like, why are you destroying my confidence and my love for you? Like, Jimmy is you see the Queen of Cups and then the King of Swords. These are not compatible. These are not compatible. So yeah, they changed. They changed. Um, and it feels very sharp, and I don't think that Tay is easy to convince. I think that once he gets in this king of source energy, he can be very blunt and hurtful. Also, he can hurt your feelings. But then we have the chariot. That the chariot, it says, move, The chariot says move. So the chariot is like, do you see the two hands holding the heart? It's like let's make it a truce, a tray. Is it truce or is it trace? Well, let's make an agreement. Let's get to an agreement. Let's stop this. Let's move on from this. Let's not stay in this energy. This energy is no good for us. This hostility, these attacks, these like, passive aggressive comments, these like, let's move. Let's advance from this. I think that these are sequels, these are symptoms of the military, honestly. Truth. Thank you, Charalina. I think that this is the consequences of the military. These are the consequences of the military. Definitely. Definitely. It's like, you know, it, so with the chariot, it's like, let's move on from this. It's like this can be, a moment where they will treat each other like this, but then their friendship will move. Their friendship will advance to another period. It's not going to be always like this because the foundation, the chariot card is it talks about their friendship having the ability to advance, even if they get angry at each other, even if they offend each other, even if they have different points of view. Their friendship, the foundation, is it has emotionality and it has history. So they will not become enemies. Don't worry. There will not be, not even for the shippers or these people that just want to take one side of the other, they and Jimin will always be friends. But they will probably go through moments where they think differently. They are in different energies. They are maybe going through different experiences. So, it's not easy being their friend also. But I think that their bond will advance. It doesn't matter, what happens. But yeah, they do have different opinions, very opposite opinions, very different ways of dealing with, what the other says or what the other do. Maybe one is more critical of what the other does, and the other one, gets offended easily. So, it's 50-50. It's 50-50. It is about boundaries, maybe, they're changing, their priorities are different, and it's like, it's time for boundaries, and that's okay also. That's valid. That's a friendship, actually. A friendship is like this. Mm. They are also both still going through Saturn return. Me too. And it had been rough. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I see it in Jimin. Jimin with the tower in there, the tower and the Queen of Cups is like the caretaker, the empath, the empathic partner, no more. I'm sorry, but I learned that I sacrifice so much for the others. Like I'm learning to, it's not that he's not going to be emotional. It's more like I'm creating a sort of a shell around my hurt or my emotionality so people cannot cross my boundaries and they cannot affect me or hurt me. And maybe him also learning not to give too much, because sometimes the queen of cups, they do worry a lot for their people, or they do worry a lot for, their friends, and they're thinking like a mother would, like, oh my god, they need this, I need to be there for them because they need me. And in the case of Taehyung, I think that Taehyung is like, I'm a king of swords now, I don't need you. Maybe there's something about him wanting to be more independent, or him being like, I'm not the same person. So yeah, like understand, that. But they are like the yin and the yang. They are like feminine and masculine energy. Okay. I'm going to continue with this. With this next question. that is about award shows, if they are real, if they are genuine, the award shows, or if it's already fixed. Mm, I think that they rely more on the internet, voters, more. Because I have the 6 of Swords in here. So I'm like, okay. Award shows, are they real? Are they genuine? We have the Page of Pentacles, we have the Tower in the middle, and we have the Hermit. Are we sure we are going to have more? Like, is the award season, is it happening? Because I think that with the Hermit is giving me very private, like not the huge shows like you usually see. There's going to be a cut in the shows. And we have the 6 of Swords. The keyword in here is believe and succeed. Believe and succeed. So something is changing also in the award shows because we have the Tower in the middle. So something is changing in the award shows. Something is changing. I don't know if it's for the better. But I think that, with the Page of Pentacles, I think that they probably had more. There's something about physical labor and, a lot of people working on the show or working maybe on the quality of the show. There's a lot of people working, moving things, arranging the stage, arranging the seats. I don't know, arranging, putting flowers, putting this, putting the lights, I see a lot of people really focusing on the details, maybe preparing a lot beforehand. Um, and and I think that that's going to change. That's going to change. That is changing. Are they losing money? Are they losing money? There's something about them. Could it be that they want to do like a live stream? I know they probably do on the channels, or if the show has a channel, they sort of do the live stream of the groups performing, but people actually don't attend. Like, I don't see physically people attending the show. Or maybe if they do, it's like you have to get like a pass or an invitation in the future. There's something about the future of award shows is changing drastically, drastically. And I think that probably has to do that there's no money for that. There's no money for this. There's no money. Like, it doesn't matter, and probably because of the internet. There's a lot of internet voting. Could it be votes from the internet? Like, you can vote online, and those votes weigh more than if you have people, for example, fans of a certain groups showing up and filling the arena or filling the place, like having a huge audience. I think that they're going to cut that, having the audience present. And if you are invited, it's probably very few people. With the Hermit, it's like they are reviewing how they are doing things. They are reviewing how they are doing things. Something is changing, but drastically, when it comes to um, because it's not that interesting anymore. I don't know what, with the Page of Pentacles, I'm like, in a war show that has the energy of a Page of Pentacles, first is giving me like, if you have people, like if you hire people to arrange the show, it's very inexperienced people, and it's very few. It's probably people that are in school or on college, very young and inexperienced, but these people are very hardworking. I can see them moving, arranging, but it's like, this very amateur kind of someone that is very hardworking, but is also very inexperienced. Maybe it's their first job, their first real opportunity. So there's something like, maybe this is why the present of the award shows is looking like this. It's looking like, there's going to be a change. There's going to be a huge change, a huge change. Like something is ending. Something is ending. Like I don't know if they're like, something is going to happen and then are going to have to stop. Why is it giving me like when we were in COVID? During COVID, during the pandemic, that it was just, the artists appearing. It's giving me that. It's giving me that. It's giving me that everything is going to happen on the internet with the Six of Swords. I don't know. Then you guys later let me know if it's going to be, because I think that it's on the making. It's not now, but there's like a lot of reviewing because the award shows probably are not doing very well. The numbers are not here. Actually, there's like it gets destroyed, like the foundation or maybe the legacy that they used to have or how popular they used to be is to rebuild themselves. They have to destroy to start all over because it has been lacking. It has been very like maybe the last shows or things that they had been doing, it felt very, very inexperienced, amateur, and people are like, I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for this event. Even, people being like, I'm not sending my groups over there. I'm not sending my groups to your show because it's not that popular. So for me, it costs me more money to send my groups to transport my groups and their things and their people to your show than actually maybe having them, maybe I can do a fan sign or I can, do my own concert and maybe I can make more money out of that. Make a small concerts or live streams where people can get access to just watch that group that you want so much and not having to watch the rest. With the hermit, there's also people being like, I actually, I'm just here waiting to just to watch my group. You know, I'm not interested in the others. I don't want to see what their next show, their performance. I'm just waiting for my group to appear. And there's this individualism. Like I don't care for the show. I don't care for the lineup. I don't care for the others. I'm waiting for my group. So they have to sort of review this, the individualization, the fandoms not being that collaborative, and not being that, the audience is also very, very tired. They're like, we don't want what you're having. So yeah. And probably something happened in an award show. I don't know if there was like mistreatment or there was like technical issues, but people are like, over there, I will not go. And also, with the card of, if they are real or not. Look, the keyword here it says believe and succeed. Believe and succeed. So basically, believe in the power of the internet. The group that gets more votes is going to get the award. Is going to get the award. So it's like even if you are part of a Nubu group, if your fans vote or are on the internet a long time, or you are really on the internet, like streaming or pushing it, the key is on the internet. The key is on the internet. Whoever has the access, the time, the effort, the money to put online, they are going to get um, their groups to be successful and get that award. The internet is the one that moves the stream. The internet is the one that makes it happen. The voters online. Okay, guys. That is a very interesting question. I like it. I like it when they put questions like this because it's like a question that is like so expansive, but at the same time, with the cars, I can also, okay, what it feels like to read for this subject. So I do love open the Q&A because I do love these questions. Okay. I want to pull cards for Jennie's current energy and then I'm going to go. Jennie's current energy. She got the ten of cups, just like I did for. I got the 10 of cups for a Blackpink album. Remember that the first card was the 10 of cups, the 10 of cups. So she's happy. She's happy with her community. She's happy. She's happy, happy, happy. So that is interesting, because I think that that's the energy of all the members, that everything is better if they're together. I think that they are together. The girls are together. Maybe they're working, they're rehearsing, but it feels like a big family, like a family reunion, and no one is going to spoil that. She loves it. So yeah. Okay, for Jennie, 10 of cups. Ace of Wands, very inspired. She wants to create, she wants, and 7 of Wands. Always Jennie having to defend herself. Always Jennie knows. Jennie knows that it doesn't matter how fire, how powerful, how strong her energy or her desire to do this with the group is, she's really passionate about this new beginning. She's really going to give it her all, but also there's going to be criticism and there's going to be people talking about her. So she's like, bring it on. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Haters, get ready. Um, and and we have the card of the judgment. Literally, the judgment for Jennie is like every day. And the keyword says blossom in here. So see, she's going to keep blossoming, growing, expanding. It's awkward. People don't have anything to do but to criticize her or whatever they do. This is not about Blackpink's comeback. This is not about, the album, the tour. This is about that people don't like Jennie, and it's like they see her name and they are let's go and attack. But yeah, with the judgment, she has the potential to transform this, to transmute, the judgment and to blossom. It's going to get a bit uncomfortable at this point, because that the haters are very insistent. So at some point she's going to have to, not, I think that is, I don't think that is about Jennie going and saying something to defend herself, but there's a defense like poster. There's something about her being like, you guys stop it, because this is useful. She probably is not someone that is going to say something, but maybe, if she posts a picture or if she does a poster or if she has a body language that is like, sort of defending her poster and sort of challenging the haters of like, come, keep talking about me, keep talking. And probably, it's going to get a bit heavy. But for her, it's like, she's embracing the judgment. She's embracing these moments are moments to blossom, are moments to have this sort of awakening, this sort of rebirth for her in the group. So she's like, okay, if this is part of my destiny, if this is part of the job, I will endure it like I always endure it. There's a lot of ones, so there's a lot of energy. So, she's going to put the energy. I think that the thing here is that maybe for people, what she brings is not enough. Maybe people, I do see her very energetic and actually very passionate about this. So maybe she's training, or there's something about her, getting more energy, stamina, working out, or there's something strong in here in her her in the group, all of them, but there's something about her getting more like active physically, stronger probably, maybe changing her diet a bit to become more resilient and stronger and rough, um, like muscles or something like this. But I think that people are going to criticize her anyways. They're going to be like, oh, we didn't see you jump higher like the others. So she is like, you have to mentally, she has to get ready because people are going to judge. But I think that she's used to this. She's like, I know this is going to come. This is why I am on the defensive already, because I know it's going to come. But this is what I think that the other day that I read for her in the group, I believe, or I don't know if I think that it was about her in a friendship. But there was something that I said about her energy, about her, you know, it's like Jenny is in this process where she is giving you this. She's not going to give you more. What she gives you is what she has available. She's not going to try to please everyone or transform herself into someone that she's not, so you can be satisfied with her. And also, seeing the judgment and seeing the seven of wands is impossible. It's impossible because her name or her image, it triggers people. It triggers people that probably don't like her, that they have their perception, that they compare her to someone else. But at the same time, we have the Ten of Cups as the first card, that is like, this is what I belong to. I belong to a community. I belong to a group. I belong to a family. I belong with my members. We are happy together. I am happy. I have a community. I have people that love me. And thankfully, there's a lot of people that love me. So it's like she's becoming courageous. She's like getting ready. She's like, I know criticism, judgment is going to get, but I'm ready. I'm stronger. I'm ready. I'm ready. But watch it because I see her working out. I see her getting stronger physically. So, very passionate, very sexy also. So, yeah, get ready. Get ready to see her and appreciate her efforts. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. Okay, guys, I'm going to go because today is Father's Day here. I don't know if I believe it over there also, maybe where you are is also Father's Day. So yeah, happy Father's Day to everyone that has a father figure. If you do have them in your life, appreciate them, give them love, celebrate with them if you can. And yeah, because father figures are important. They keep us grounded. They teach us a bit about the structure. Some of them, I know that some of us, we have very sensitive fathers, but I don't know, you could also have a mother that is like more like a father, or a mother that is like a mother and a father, or a grandfather. So there's always going to be like a fatherly figure in our lives. It can be even our boss, our oldest brothers or sisters. So yeah, let's embrace this father energy in our lives, and let's enjoy and celebrate with them while we have them, because then when we don't have them, then life gets tough. It's not the same. So yes, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Have a lovely week. Have a lovely Sunday. And on Wednesday, I'm going to start a new series that is called Voices of Venus. So I'm going to bring again the Venus series for different idols or artists. So I'm going to create a post, and you can leave the names of your favorite, not entire group. Don't bring me the entire group, please. Just bring me your bias, your favorite, someone that you're interested in, that is an idol or that is famous. And I'm going to, and if you know their Venus, leave it also in the comment section. And I'm going to then pull cards for that Venus so we can go deeper into, how they are feeling with that Venus, if they are exuding that energy, if they have that energy, or if that energy is blocked. Okay, so yeah, let's see, how they seduce, how they get seduced, what they love, what they find attractive. So yeah, let's get Venusian this next Wednesday. Yeah, hello, Agira. Yeah, I know it's so early. It's so early here. It's so early. Yeah. But yeah, I did a live stream because, today is Father's Day. So yeah, I'm going to go and make lunch for my dad and me. Yeah, and celebrate this beautiful day, very cold day, but beautiful. So yeah, happy Father's Day to everyone. Love you. Bye.